Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I think we all know why women did not fight wars. And that is because of, as they say, patriarchy, right? No. Because if there would be patriarchy, you would want to use women and you stay home and you don't die. Let them die. Use them, right? Therefore, that could not be because of patriarchy. It was because of the difference in body and strength. That was one reason. And the other one, obviously, was the procreation abilities of a woman, which is one man could impregnate how many women you provide as far as he still, is able. But a woman is one woman. After 9 months, another one, all right? I'm just making it that way. But anyway, so these are the reasons you're not as strong in the past, right? Because in the past you needed more physical strength and to be endurance and all that. For war, you need to be able to carry a club and smack some other's skulls, right? And do it many times. You needed a lot of, and then you needed to wield a sword, a spear, have a shield, an axe, or whatever you needed. And then you needed a gun. But even a gun is heavy for most women. Why? Have a woman pick up a loaded automatic weapon. Why loaded? Because the bullets, if you just use 30 or 25, or let's get an AK-47. Give that to a woman and have her handle it. You can watch some videos. So that's one thing. Besides, that's another endurance and so on. My point is this. Women were protected. First, they couldn't help in a war. Most of them. There were some exceptions, but all right. There were some exceptions, but in general, they would be a liability unless you become, encircled, and that's the end of the end. You defend everything you get. They are able to fight to a certain extent. They have certain limitations, like also men have. And the other one is the reason of procreation. We have here an article from New Voice of Ukraine where these guys are celebrating that 67,000 of their nation's women, instead of procreating, they will be probably exposed to being shot by the Russians, blown up by the Russians. And they're happy, they're celebrating. Now, I think that's idiotic. I'm not saying women cannot do certain jobs, but I would protect them to be able to bring the new generation, continue the nation. Don't they say that they are fighting for survival? They're not at that point yet to bring women over there like, oh, we're surrounded, we have to fight with everything. Here are our children, we're going to protect them right here. I don't think that they're at that point, and they will not be at that point. So let me show you this article. New Voice of Ukraine. Right there. I'm pro-women in this video because I give them the right to go and fight. If you want to go and fight, go ahead. But I don't think that's smart for the nation that they say they're trying to, protect, help, defend, and so on. So let's read a little bit of this article and see. Deputy Defense Minister Natalia Kalmykova reported that over 67,000 women are now serving in the Ukrainian armed forces, with 19,000 in civilian roles, and the remainder as military personnel. Reminder as military personnel. That's what he says. She discussed these figures during a small talk interview published on June 8th. Since 2014, the number of women in the Ukrainian military has been on the rise, a trend that has notably accelerated since February 24, 2022. She highlighted that this increase comes even though Ukraine does not enforce mandatory conscription for women. And I'm quoting, currently we have more than 67,000 women in the armed forces, of which 19,000 are civilian employees and all others are military personnel, exposing themselves to being blown up. As I said, free will, I am all for that, but be careful what you do with your military. And says here, however, she said, acknowledge ongoing challenges with career advancement for women in the military, noting that efforts are underway to improve this. And I'm quoting, unfortunately, we still have a problem with women's promotion, and we are now looking for ways to regulate this so the women who want to build a career in the Ukrainian armed forces have this opportunity, she said. Well, if you deserve it, you should be promoted. If you don't deserve it, fuck off. That sounds good for men and women, all right? I don't want, because... And I suspect that a lot of women will be somewhere over there, sending the men over there go over there, or those guys over there, and they will get ranks, and the guys who are going to be in the field will be blown up. But hey, what can I do? So I'm think about this. And another thing related to this is these guys are using us like guinea pigs. I'm talking about the guys in charge of us. Nowadays, if you really want to have a decent life, and not only, both parents have to work in the United States of America. They have to work. How was it possible in 1950s, for instance, only one person to be working? 50s, 60s, 70s. How was it possible? I personally know a family, and not only one, I know many families because I worked with family. I worked in a field, in that kind of field. One man working, the wife stayed home with 5 children. How was it possible? And that person was not a CEO, was not an engineer, no, no college, laborer. And at one point he was a janitor. How is it possible? How was that possible then, and right now is not possible? I tell you why. Because these guys they want more profit, and they take the mother out or the father out of the household to get him to work. Otherwise, they can make the day. And then the children will be educated by the state, by the government, by a stranger. And the stranger will instill in your children the values. And then when you meet your child at 17, 18, you don't recognize the child. You're going to say, who the fuck are you? Who raised you? Who raised you? The government raised you. So they use us as manpower, right? And they give us less and less and less. It's not like we both work, man and woman, or wife and husband, and we have double. No, it's like the more we work, we have the same or even less than before. Imagine, let's say that a couple that I was mentioning here, he was working. Let's say she was working. You say, okay, that will be double income. Who's going to take care of the kids? Okay, let's say it was one kid that was much older than the rest. So that means you don't pay for, daycare and things like this. Then it should be double. Those guys should be very well off. Well, they weren't. And right now you're not. Why? Because you have to get a babysitter, you have to pay the babysitter, you have to take the kids to the daycare. And while you work, they give over a lot of money to daycare. Unless you have a grandmother or grandfather to stay with your kids. So I think this is not a coincidence. And this is instilled in the people. Oh, I want to work, I'm an independent woman. You don't understand, or I'm independent man. The same. You don't understand that this was poured into your head so they can use you and then raise your kids in such a way that they can vote the way and stay they they continue the system the way it's supposed to go. That's the whole racket. Now they send women, it's free will, but they say they build a career. Build a career, I'm all for it. But can you do 10 push-ups? If you don't do 10 push-ups, you should not be advanced in any military position. None. Zero. Well, I mean, intelligence services. No, man. Mens sana in corpore sana. Right? So, healthy brain, healthy mind, in healthy body. Oh, I'm healthy. They decide I'm healthy. Joe Biden is healthy. Remember, his medics, the White House panel, determined that he continues, he continues to be a robust octogenary. He's healthy as, my God. Now, if those people lie over there, do you think they don't lie over here too? No problem. I'm not against women serving. I'm just saying, do 20 pull-ups, and then we're talking. You don't do 20 pull-ups? No, you're not. And that's one way to make sure that most women will not get into military. And don't lower the bar, even for the fat fox men, okay? Because they lower the bar in the Marines and in many other branches. They lower, instead of doing I don't know how much, 20 or something there was. Right now it's like, I don't know, 5 or something, or something like this. You can find the requirements. No, man, no. Only the best. Not all people in a population must or ought or could finish a college. No, some of us were not able, so we will not finish a college like it was before. Now, you finish a college, why? Not because you're smarter or greater opportunities. No, they lowered the standards. I guarantee that if you would take right now these baboons here, that have a college degree, all right, and you go nicely and you put them in, let's say, 1950s in college, I think maybe 10% of them will graduate. Not because they will be discriminated or something. No, it's different. They lowered the bar and they created a lot of how do you call it? I can't freaking remember. Colleges for things that would not provide you with, requirements. Like, let's say, I don't want to give examples. I don't want, I don't know, modern dancing or queer dance. I have a major. That's what it is. A major in queer dance or something. As a college, there should be a freaking kindergarten the level of that. Or I'm not bashing the queers or something. It's not that. But or in modern dancing, I have a PhD. You should have a kindergarten certificate. That's the level. Oh no, Emily's more. I know it's more than that. But to get to the more, to be a dancer like Nureyev or whatever his name is, and others, to be there, you're not all this garbage. I've been to dance and I said, these guys are just a mockery of dance. Anyway, ballet, mind you. I was like, fuck. First, I looked at that person, I said, you don't get on the stage. Do not get on the stage. She was not only more than one, she, particular one that I knew, fat, and she was the ballerina. How in the hell are you supposed to jump and be gracious? You can't. But she was a ballerina at that level. Yeah, at that level you can be, but not a ballerina. You're something. The same here. I had a college in this kind of dance. Anyway, here is, my friends. I don't think I think only the best should be used in the women, best capable. You do 25 push-ups and 20 pull-ups, we will consider you. The same with the garbage man as well. Thank you very much for being with me again today. And these guys tend to celebrate that more women in the armed forces. No, less women in the armed forces for that particular reason. Procreation. That's nature, man. It's not me that I want to... Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.